When trying to add together numbers in base 5, we have to just try to remember exactly what's going on here. So in base 10, if we had a 5 and a 5, we would get a 10. And there are lots of different combinations that give you 10. You could have a 1 and a 9, or a 2 and 8, for example. All of these would equal 10. But in base 5, what combinations would add to make 10? You could have a 1 and a 4 to make 10, because that would kick up to 5 and then 5 restarts. You could have a 2 and a 3. That would also give you 10. Or 5 and a 0. That would be 10 as well, because you couldn't have 5, because of course that would just be 10. So let's have a look at this first example, try and get our heads around it. So we have 14 and we're adding 21 to that. And here we have it. We have the 4 plus the 1, that gives you the 10. So that would be a 10. And the 1 and the 2 plus the 1 gives you 4, which is still hasn't got up to 10. So our answer would be 40. For the next one, for part B, we're in base 7. So we just have to think of pairs that add up to make 7. So we've got 16 and 32. Well, in this case, we have it kicks over to 8, which in a base 7 would be the same as 11, because you have 8 would be the same as going up to 7 once. So you would have 7 in it would have 1 in the sevens column, and how many 7 to the zeros would remain would be 1 as well. So this overall would look like 11. So 6 plus 2 would be 11, and then the 1 plus the 3 is plus the 1 at the bottom there is 51. So it would be 51. For C, for base 5, the same sort of thing we did in red here. I'll do that in red as well. So we have 141 plus 104. Adding these together, 1 and a 4 makes 10. The 4 and the 0 and the 1 make 10 as well. And that gives you a remainder of 3. So it would be 300 in total. So for part D, let's do that in pink. 212 plus 121 in base 3. So 2 plus 1 gives you 10 in base 3. And again, we have a 10 with a 1 kicking over to make it 11. And here we have a 10 with a 1 kicking over, making it 11. So the overall result will be 1,110. Okay, right, let's have a look at the last example. So we have to multiply these together now, and this is in base 5. So to multiply these numbers, we'll do it in the same way that we did before, with a bit of long multiplication. So multiplying these together, we'll just examine the 3 first. 1 times 3, 4 times 3. Now, the 4 times 3 is going to be 12, but because we're talking about base 7, what is 12? Well, that was in the 5 to the 1s column. How many 5s were there in this? There were 2. And that would give you a remaining 2 to add in this column, in the 1s column. So 12, by multiplying these together, you get 12. That would represent the number 22 in base 5. And then a 1 times 3 is 3, plus the 2 makes 5, but because we're in base 5, that would be 10. In the next column, working with the 2, you have to add the 0 here. So you have 1 times 2 is 2, 4 times 2 is 8, but that would give you a 3 with a 1 in the 10s column, or in the 5s column, sorry. And then a 1 times the 2 is 2, plus that is 3. So now by adding these together, we'll get our answer as 3, 4, 3, 4. So 4,343. Okay, in part B, 122 times 12. So 2 times 2, that's 4. But hang on, what is 4 in base 3? 4 is going to be 11 in base 3. And 2 times 2 is 4, plus that is 5, and 5 in base 3 is 12. 1 times 2 plus the 1 would make a 10. All of these will be multiplied by 1, so if I put a 0 here, I'll just write 122 there. Now by adding these together, I get a 1, a 4, but 4 in base 3 is 11. That gives you 3, in base 3 would be 10. And that in base 3 would also be 10. So you'll be left with 10,011 for part B. And part C, 512 times 24 in base 6. So 2 times 4 is 8. In base 6 would be 12. 1 times 4 is 4, plus the 1 is 5. 5 times 4 is 20. And 20 in base 6 is going to be 3 6s with the 2 remaining, so it would be 36. Sorry, 32 with the 2 remaining. Now we're working with the 2, we have to place the 0. And 2 times 2 is 4. In base 6 is still 4. 1 times 2, and 5 times 2 is 10. In base 6 would be 14. And then by adding these together, we get 2. 9 in base 6 is 13. 5. A 7 in base 6 is 11. And that would be a 2. So overall, this would be 21,532. Right, have a go at those exercises.